We'd like to thank Noda by M&T Bank for their generous support of this podcast. To learn more, visit trustnoda.com. Terms and conditions may apply. Hello and welcome to another edition of On the Road with Legal Talk Network. This is Lawrence Coletti and I'm the host for this episode, which is being recorded from the ABA Tech Show 2021 virtual. So right now I am talking to you through the interwebs. Hello, how's it going out there? So joining me now I have Ben Schorr and Josh Leporati. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Hey, Lawrence.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's great to see you. It's been a while. I think the last time I at least saw you, Ben, was at the actual ABA Tech Show, the in-person event. And of course, obviously, as events transpire, we are now at the remote a year later. So I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, well, it's warmer this year than last year, that's for sure.
That's true. That's true, because we're not in Chicago. But well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming on. You know, and Ben, I've known you for a series of years. You know, Josh, I don't know if we've met each other in person, have we?
We have not.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, let's do this. Just as an opening question to you all. Just tell us about yourselves. Where do you work? What do you do?
Yeah, I'll jump in first. So, Josh Leporati. I am actually on the Microsoft Teams product group and focus around our adoption scenarios, really carving out a space where we can influence large adoption, ensuring that we are meeting the requirements for what has been a stellar uptick in needing to work from home and needing to leverage collaboration platforms to work from home. Our group really manages how is Teams being received, right? Are we meeting the mark? Are we providing different scenarios that enable and enhance remote work? And really just the quality and life cycle of Microsoft Teams. All
right. And, for those that don't remember, Ben.
Hi, well, I'm Ben Schorr. I'm a senior content designer at Microsoft. And my team manages support and training content for Microsoft 365, including some of the team's content. So we try to help our customers be more productive and more successful with Microsoft 365.
All right. Well, let's transition. That's a great jumping off point here. And so, this interview is about Microsoft Teams, and I have to admit, Ben and Josh, I did not know much about Microsoft Teams when I scheduled the interview. I had to learn. So I jumped online. I read about it. I watched a couple of videos, and it kind of reminds me of the platform that we use here. We use Basecamp, and so it kind of seems like it's a collaborative platform there. And then, of course, we integrate. And now Ben's going to kill me for this, Josh. We use Google Suite for spreadsheets and presentations and things like that. So, we kind of do that. We incorporate that. But it seems like Microsoft Teams seems to be more of a turbocharged version of that sort of incorporates that Microsoft Suite offering. So what's the best way to describe what Teams does?
You can kind of think about it. You outlined a good portion of that. Teams is really this place where we think of work happening now. So as you think about all the different places you would work before, whether it's in documents, in email, even in meetings, used to be in person, now virtual, Teams is a collective space for all that to happen together and hopefully provide a unique experience so that you can collaborate uniquely together. You can experience different scenarios and different information gathering all in one place. What sets us really apart too, I would kind of highlight is the security around Teams, right? Ensuring that the stuff that you're working on, the environment that you're working in is both secure and scalable so that we can work anywhere and work on all kinds of stuff from any location.
Yeah, Teams has a lot of security and compliance features that I think you don't find in some of the more consumer-oriented solutions.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important for law firms. And the other thing that, and maybe Josh alluded to this, but I think is really important to highlight is the apps integration, where you can get plug-in apps into Teams, not just from Microsoft products, but from a really long and rapidly growing list of third-party products, including the Google products.
Yeah, Teams kind of provides that base, right? It's that base of you get work done here, you collaborate here, but we also want to open it up so you can expand to other third-party integrations and other third-party products that really enhance the day-to-day workflow that maybe you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about some of the basic features here. So I saw that it's kind of a communications platform, so you can communicate with teams based on a subject line or something like that, or a project. So it's project oriented like Basecamp, but kind of like Basecamp too. It has, it has like this text feature. But what's different is it also has a video feature, so you can call straight to a team member, online, or you can call outside the system on a phone line, or you can bring someone in for a video call. And it incorporates all of this with subject tags. You can keep all of your communications and file sharing organized under one banner.
That's right. I kind of think about it this way. When I joined this group in Teams Engineering, I came in with no prior group experience. But when I joined the team, the collective knowledge that team had shared throughout their journey was all in the space where I came to work in. So I was able to jump in, find some conversations that had happened in the past, and really get up to speed with the team and the culture in a very shortened timeline compared to how it may be, if you're not using a core collaboration platform. But I can jump in and catch up with those team members and really understand the nature of the teams I'm joining very quickly.
Now, you kind of got into this a little bit, but what are the unique advantages? Compare Microsoft Teams like a Basecamp or some other, collaborative like Slack or some other collaborative platform that you're kind of pulling in these different platforms. What's the competitive advantage? You talked about security, but what are some of the other competitive advantages with Microsoft Teams?
Yeah, when you think about Teams, think about the entire Microsoft 365 solution area. So outside of Teams, you've got the standard suite that most people are familiar with, right? Word or Office, bringing those elements and collaboration on those type of technologies into Teams. When you think about our email platform, when you think about our global reach as far as where our solutions work, whether it's on the web, on the desktop, or on a mobile experience, Teams is going to work with you where you're at and also bring in those experiences into Teams. So a scenario Ben and I highlighted at the Tech Show was talking about rich collaboration and shared collaboration. So if you're working on a case document or something else with your colleagues and peers, that can all happen within Teams, and that can all happen collaboratively inside a team. So you're not emailing documents back and forth. And if there's one win that we could see from Teams, it would be help to eliminate that, right? Eliminate hey, this is the final version 2 or final version 3.
Yeah.
Inside of Teams, you think about working in a shared collaboration environment differently.
And it's real-time collaboration too, which is, if you've ever seen 8 different people all in different parts of the world co-authoring a document at the same time, I mean, it's really impressive.
Yeah.
And it's easy to do with Teams. It's not one of these, are you done with the document so I can look at it yet things. Everybody can get in and do what they need to do at once.
Yeah, I remember the days before that kind of sharing, and it is amazing to me. I work, our teammates, we work all over, Legal Talk Network, work all over the country. It is amazing. We will co-draft some scripts all together all at once. It is amazing to see all of us hammering out a different part of it at the same time. So I think we've all been a little spoiled that way. But let's talk about the platforms that Microsoft Teams is available on. Now, I know that obviously it's a Microsoft product, so it will be available on a PC. It'll be available on a computer, right? But I understand it's also available on apps and also via browser. So where can you find this? What products can you use it on?
Yeah, that's right. So almost any platform you can think of, we've got an offering on it. It's a new world. It's an open world. If you think about Windows, Mac, Linux even, and also your web experiences. And a key thing that I always love to highlight is the mobile experiences.
Yes,
so whether it's an Android tablet or an Apple tablet or Apple OS system, there are companion apps for each of those that are fantastic to still get your work done and collaborate on.
And I've had times where I was, running a little bit late to a meeting, and I was on my way. Maybe I just parked my car in the parking garage and was heading up to my office, and I could actually join the meeting from my Android phone, listening on my earbuds, and walk to my office. And when I get into my office and sign into my computer, Teams will let me seamlessly transition that meeting from my mobile device to the desktop, and the audience, the other people in the meeting, don't even know I did it. I'm just still there, but now I'm on my desktop.
So it hands off pretty well is what you're saying.
Very well, yes.
All right, well, let's transition the conversation towards what it does to benefit a law firm. And so, just with your experiences, Ben and Josh, knowing what you know about the legal community, what common productive uses does this have for the average law firm?
A couple of things that I see that I think will benefit firms is having the dedicated files library. So you may have created a team or a channel based on a client or a matter that you're working on, and having that dedicated files library is handy. I saw that both World Docs and Net Documents have announced integrations with Teams. I haven't seen the others yet, but I'm sure there's plenty of others as well as far as document management systems. So I think the files library is a big one, and being able to have that sort of shared chat experience around a particular topic like a client or a matter, I think is really important. And then the other thing would be, especially when we all got scattered to our dining room tables to work last year, it's amazing how powerful video can be. And you mentioned, the video component of Teams and being able to just turn on your camera sometimes in a meeting and just being. I remember the first time when I hadn't seen certain teammates, I hadn't seen them in a month or two, and just that first time we ended up in a meeting together with our cameras on, just being able to see them again, it was nice it felt like you were reuniting with friends.
Did everybody need a haircut at that time?
A few of us did, yes.
Yeah, I think I still do, actually. I haven't been in for a routine haircut in quite some time, so I'm a little shaggy these days. But how about you, Josh? What type of typical uses are you seeing?
Yeah, Ben hit on a lot of those great ones. The other thing, talking about the dining room table scenario here, is phone calls and using it as a phone system, right? Mm-hmm. I think Ben and I can both agree that wherever we are, we can get our phone calls on our mobile devices because we've got Teams on it, which also gives me and others, right, the ability to make calls from Teams. So if you need to make a call from your work number, not expose a cell phone number, you can use Teams to make those calls wherever you're at. So you're now bringing more of the office into a mobile setting with you. That's a huge, I think, plus there. And the other thing I'd add, too, is this tagging ability that we have inside a team. So let's say that you're setting up a case for a certain thing you're going for, just subject matter experts, right? If I want to tag that collective community and have an easy way to mention them in a post or get their attention, Teams allows me to do that.
Right.
Yeah, I know we use that a lot on other like social media and some other platforms too. I like that tagging feature because it does tend to bring whoever is talking to you up front and center, so it doesn't get lost in the ether of all the communications you may have on a given project. So let me transition to this part. We kind of got into this just a little bit earlier, but you talked about the outside applications, and of course, in the world of BYOD, people bring their own device to work and they integrate some of their personal computers when they're at home and things like that. And you've got your own environment that you're comfortable with. So how well does it work with applications like Google Calendar, Zoom if you prefer Zoom, and Zapier? Does it have that ability to add some automations to it?
Yeah, it absolutely does. So when you think about Teams, there's an App Store component of Teams. If you've centralized on Zoom for your meeting platform in an organization, while we do meetings and we think we do them great, there's a Zoom add-in. So you could have Zooms brought in, or the Zoom component brought in to leverage meetings. The other integrations that are coming inside of Teams specific to law firms that Ben was talking about will be there in Teams. And that's where you see in that App Store those integrations that third-party companies have taken to build on top of that base layer that Teams is providing as that foundational day-to-day collaboration stop that everybody uses to then go and integrate into the third-party apps to use.
Yeah, that's right. And there are some legal specific apps in there too. Like, for example, Law Toolbox, I know, has a very popular Teams app. So if you're a Law Toolbox user, you can get your Law Toolbox right within Teams. And there's a few others as well, but that's just the one that comes right to mind.
All right, last question for you. Now, how much does it cost? Do you have like seats for it? Can you do like an enterprise version? Like, I guess, what are the volume-based discounts you get for implementing it, whether it's for a small team or a large team?
Yeah, there's a couple different ways that you can acquire Teams. We've got a free version of Teams that you can use up to a certain number of users for your organization. And then as you think about the features that you may need, that comes with different packages of Microsoft 365 solutions. So there's a business plan. There's also plans that incorporate more of your entire IT thought into it. Like I need email services, I need file storage services, depending on what the need may be. We have different packages to suffice for that. But just Teams as a general, there is a Teams basically free version you can try and leverage to see if it's your fit. And then if you need to upgrade that, you can upgrade it in specific license.
Yeah, and also if you're a law firm that has a Microsoft 365 plan or an Office 365 plan that includes Exchange Server, for example, so and most of you do, you've already got Teams.
That's right.
Included. Yeah. No extra charge.
Well, we've reached the end of the road for this episode today, but I want to thank our guests, Ben and Josh, for joining us. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. If you like what you heard, please rate and leave us a review in your favorite podcasting app. We'll see you next time for another episode of On the Road with Legal Talk Network.
If you'd like more information about what you've heard today, please visit LegalTalkNetwork.com. Subscribe via iTunes and RSS, find us on Twitter and Facebook, or download our free Legal Talk Network app in Google Play and iTunes. The views expressed by the participants of this program are their own and do not represent the views of, nor are they endorsed by, Legal Talk Network, its officers, directors, employees, agents, representatives, shareholders, and subsidiaries. None of the content should be considered legal advice. As always, consult a lawyer.